Here we are, everyone. All right. I did this last night, but in the chat, what is your low temperature in Fahrenheit today? What is your either feels like or natural? Oh, man, I didn't even show Nick this. I got to show our natural temperature for this upcoming weekend, Friday and Saturday specifically. Look at those lows on Friday, Saturday.
Dude, you got single digits. You got negative double digits.
And that's not feels like. That's normal temperature.
So here's the thing.
4, a low of negative 17.
I look at the same weather app all the time, and for some reason my eyes went to the right at the high and thinking the high was bad.
Yeah.
Dude, your lows are negative 17s.
Yep. Friday.
Hold on. Where are we going to be? Jack is going to hang out with some relatives this weekend, and they were like, it's going to be cold. And I was like, I haven't even looked. So let's see where we are.
Oh, good. So you and Jill got a weekend? Love it.
We got a Saturday. Yeah. Let's see.
Not get crazy.
Heck yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. It looks like got? Saturday. Oh, we're at 1. It stayed above. So we're at.
Oh, yeah. With some winter weather coming in, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
looks like we got a wintry mix.
Our feel so right now, you guys can check my feels like negative 10. It was negative 21 when I woke up this morning.
Oh, and never mind the wintry mix. It looks like they're saying Sunday we're getting 6 to 8.
Whoa.
And then it looks like Monday we're supposed to get another 1 to 3.
Whoa.
And then Tuesday looks like another 7 to 9.
You might not be having school for my man.
Dude, if we get a 3 followed by a 2 followed by an 8.
Yeah.
That's over a foot in 3 days. That's always a problem.
With real single digit temps too, where the salt isn't going to work.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, you know when it gets cold though, that's when the Florida inside me comes out. I go out and leaf blow.
Yeah. You have to sometimes.
Oh, I've been hitting it with the battery powered handheld Milwaukee.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, things.
It's not icy.
Oh no, if it's icy, it doesn't do anything.
Nope. Kenny's at 46, and they're gonna drop down within the week to 7. That's a drastic change,
dude. That just everyone's all like, everything's different. The weather's different, this and that. Everyone's on different sides of the whole thing. All I know is that when I was a kid, you did not have weeks that were 50 and then 10.
No, not like this.
Like we didn't have this when we were kids.
Not the extreme changes. We had green, and this is not exaggerating. Less than 2 weeks ago, we had green grass here. All the snow was melted. The grass never turned color at all this year because it was so mild. We had green grass. For Christmas, we had green grass.
Yeah, same.
And then now we are in negative 21 feels like, and inches of snow and ice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, Ken, you're right. Yeah, I would absolutely rather have thick snow than any amount of ice.
Interesting. Jill said you guys haven't had snow day in years.
No, we haven't. It's been years since we had a snow day in Marshfield.
We always max out our 6 every year, and then sometimes we go over. And last year we went over. This year it's been our most mild. We've only had 1 or 2.
I'd be interested to see which school districts didn't have snow days, because we are kind of a weird minority in Marshfield, where we're like this weird little microclimate where like we either get hammered or we just catch the edge of stuff and we don't actually get it. It's because we're so close to the water, but there's a lot of places close to the water that get slammed here in New England, obviously. So it's not because we're next to the water. It's partially because I think of Duxbury Bay, where we have this little bay that kind of cuts in next to us and then the coast. So it's like, it's a weird little climate.
There must be like a pressure change thing.
There is like we do live in an area where we live in what they call like, I believe it's called like an uptake vortice or something where we live based on the topography of the land.
Yeah.
Because if you get a strong wind in our area from a storm, if you look in our backyard, our leaves and branches blow up.
Oh,
so we don't get sideways wind so much. Like we have a wind meter, and it's not even usually as fast as the actual wind is because they're catching it at such a crazy angle because it's coming up off of a cliff behind our house basically. And so like if you look at like all of our maple leaves in the trees, as soon as it gets windy, all you see is white. They just blow straight up.
Okay. And yeah, we call those storm leaves here.
Yeah.
Before a storm, if you see the underbelly of the leaves, you know it's about to be a wicked storm.
Dude, yeah, and that's just every time here. Anytime it gets windy, it's just things just go straight up.
Now, have you heard of these guys? Josh and Jace. They're these British influencers, TikTokers. So they come to the US and they like experience American culture through the eyes of Brits, and they like freak out about our food and our culture and everything. They're wildly entertaining. They're very, very good. Huge platform, millions and millions and millions. Well, they're in Michigan right now, and they're doing a whole Michigan trip going up the like west. They have like a thing over here where they've been so far.
Oh yeah, they are 4 days ago.
What's that?
Yeah, it's like saying 4 days ago, 5 days ago. It's all like super recent.
Yeah. So they're in Michigan right now, and they're hitting all like our popular spots and all that kind of stuff. And when they experience the winter, they're like, these Michiganders are just straight up like built different, like just built different. And their whole talk is about how crazy it is. Well, Josh is now in the hospital because he tore a ligament and his lumbar near a disc from shoveling for the first time.
Oh.
From shoveling. He went sledding and shoveling for the first time ever. And if obviously you have, but if you've ever like shoveled like heavy snow and ice, you like underestimate it. And then when you get done, you're like, good God, like I work out every day and my body is wrecked. He is actually wrecked, like dude, bad. So it's been a couple days.
Crazy. You got to watch it, man. Like you got to lift with the arms.
Yes.
You know, lift with the legs and the arms when you get those things. Like what most people mess up too, I see. And I'm a transplant. So I did not grow up shoveling. I grew up shoveling intermittently because we lived like in the Midwest, and then we lived in Florida, and then we lived in Breckenridge, and then we lived in the desert, and then we lived in Hawaii, and then we lived in New England. So, and then Canada, right? So it's kind of like back and forth. I kind of had my bouts with shoveling, but what I never get is I've always been, I'm a push shoveler. I'm not a scoop and throw shoveler.
Okay.
Like, I get the big, wide, narrow shovel, and I push that bad boy, and I push it up against the edge, and then usually I just ramp over the edge, and then it just slides off.
Yeah.
You see a lot of my neighbors are sitting there like scooping and like shoveling, like scooping forward and like lifting it 3 feet in the air. I'm like, you guys are killing yourselves here.
Right. I'm a combo. I'm a push whenever humanly possible. But ours gets so bad sometimes where it's like it gets caught up in goodness gracious. Sam just texted me.
You got to scoop yourself out sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you have to. But other than that, I'm a push guy too.
Yeah, it's anytime I get a chance, and then it's like I'm pushing when I can. And then if I get to the point where I can't push, I'm definitely just snow blowing.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely just using the snowblower.
Love it. All right, guys. Well. That's Nick. I'm Dan. This is the doctor's orders. Hello. Nice to see you guys. And this is Dennis. He says push only works with 2 to 3 inches of snow. If it gets thicker than that, I got to pull out the snowblower or shovel lift.
Dude, same. That's what I mean. Once you get to the point where you can't push, I'm snow blowing. Like that's it.
Yep. Here's one of my northern Michiganders. Josh is out of the hospital now and back to their hotel. Yeah, I know. His like big takeaway of the American system is that they do not have painkillers like we have over in the UK. He was like, I feel nothing. This is crazy. Like you guys do this part right.
Well, arguably right. Yeah. We actually do it super, super wrong.
Right. Yeah. There's some ramifications that come with that.
There is some things that come from can't feel anything.
Yeah. It's and Jason says, we warn people all the time at the Weather Channel to take breaks and not overdo it with snow. Shoveling is one of the leaders of heart attacks and injuries during the winter. And I'm assuming it's your heart is working because it's fighting the cold. It's also doing the work of it. And then you're insulating and you're sweating, but you're cold, because that's the worst feeling, right? When you come in from shoveling and you're super hot, but you were just out in like freezing temperatures. It's such a weird thing.
Oh, that's the worst. Like, there's nothing I like there less than being like sweaty and cold.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And then like, oh man, it's just trying to cut the fog off the glasses, you got the snow and the beard, you got the beard sickles. Yeah. And then you get the mustachicles, and you get the beard sickles.
Right. And let's be honest, man, that snot, you can't even help it. That thing is just like a faucet and just gets going sometimes in the cold. It's not even our fault, but it happens.
That's it. That's all. It's just, and next thing you know, we're just a big abominable mess.
Yeah, it's tough. And guys, we can take this show wherever the heck we want today, but I put up a topic of let's talk beards. You have Nick available, right? You guys ask me questions and go over feedback all the time, but I just want to open it up to you guys about any beard questions or experiences / observations that you've had lately.
I cut off 6 inches.
What was that?
I said I cut off 6 inches.
Did you?
I'm at 24 on the dot.
You didn't even tell me. I'm breaking up with you. That's it. Wow. Okay. Not where I thought we were going, guys. But wow. All right. We're going to hear about that experience. But guys and girls out there, load your beard questions. Load your beard observations. Things that you have noticed lately. Things that you have been wondering lately. And we're going to get the full situation. JB and Nick have the same beard. There you go.
Yeah, we do. We're twins.
Okay. So to kind of bring everybody back again, and if you guys have questions about Nick's trim, you have an unfiltered, transparent Nick, not his beard, but Nick right now. So Phil wants to know what made you trim, and then followed up with Kenny, how long did it take you to get where you were before the trim? Oh, and then real quick, you ready to get your world rocked?
Yeah.
You know Amber and Kevin?
Yes.
You know Kevin's like one of the greatest beards you've ever seen?
Obviously.
Here's updated Kevin. This is not a joke.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dude, First of all, you look great.
He's handsome. You can't deny it.
To be fair, he's a good-looking dude.
He is.
That's like when someone takes something and like they coat it in chocolate or like they deep fry it and they're like, is it good? And we're like, well, of course it is. You dipped it in chocolate. It's good. It's like so does the beard trim look good? Of course it does. He's a good-looking guy. You're not going to do anything to make him look bad.
Right. Yep. But shocking.
Dude, right on though. I mean, that's like, listen, so what made what? So look at that. I know, and I'm not even going to ask. There's a couple of questions I don't even need to ask. I know exactly why he did it. He wanted to know. He went through one hell of a transformation with a beard on his face. He wanted to know what he looked like under there.
You're literally correct. That is why.
That had to have been why. Like we'll come up with some good before pictures, but for me, I was going through some old photos this past week for a number of reasons, and let's see. I think it was 2012. Thank you. I just got a coffee delivery. 2012, and I had no beard, and I was easily 40 pounds heavier than I am right now, and like way less muscle. Yeah. So like no muscle and 40 pounds heavier. And so I have no clue what's under this beard either, because that was literally within a couple of weeks of the last time I shaved. And so, since then I have, like I say, dropped 40 something pounds probably of fat and built on some muscle afterwards. Like before I grew a beard, I never had a jawline. I probably do now. Like, I have no idea.
Right. It's true. It's wild to think about. But, and I will say, and I know Kev went through this, there is a trajectory that happens on these major changes. At first, they love it and they really like own it and they're passionate. And I've never had a time where this has not happened with someone I talk to. At some point, panic sets in. the next morning when you're going through your morning routine, the next night when you're going to bed, 2 days later when that kind of like I have to defend the choice I made happens, then the panic, the gut shot sets in. And then normally it settles and people say, hey, I'm going to rock this for a little while. Or they say, you know what? I'm just starting the new journey and it's the healthiest one back yet. But they do go through that where it's like, I want to see what's underneath it. And then I promise everyone out there that like panic, that gut shot sets in. And that I've had a bad trim years and years and years ago. That feeling is a horrible one, a horrible feeling.
I've done it. And it was the worst feeling ever. The times I wouldn't even say it's once. I've done it like multiple times, and it's the worst damn feeling. It really is.
Yep.
No, I mean, so with this one, oh wow, 40 pounds. You wanted to see his face. Yep. Had a short moment of panic, but feels much better. Good.
Yep.
Good.
He looks good.
Dude, he looks great. And what's funny is like I've noticed that if I had an 18-inch beard and I went to a foot, that would have been a drastic difference.
Yep.
That would have been a different me on camera.
Yep.
Going from 30 inches to 24 inches, you don't really notice except for you lose some of the inconvenience factor that I was dealing with, which is what made me want to just trim it up a little bit. And so why didn't I mention it? Because I did it this morning. And wow. I literally was finally just trimming up a little bit. And I was like, I'm going to finish it up and just get to where, and oddly enough, landed right at 24 inches. Didn't even plan it that way.
Interesting.
But
yeah, I call that the law of proportionality, where if somebody has a 2-inch beard and you take 1 inch off, it's life-changing. It's a different human. Where if I take an inch off my beard right now, not a single soul would have ever noticed.
No one would notice. It'd be impossible to.
Yep.
So it's like, I think mine was down like, so where it is now is like just right below, right at my waist, which makes seatbelts possible. That makes zipping jackets possible. It makes putting on a belt possible. It makes tying shoes without stepping on your beard possible. It makes using public restrooms much less involved.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of things that 24 to 30 inch difference made. And you know what? It braids a little better now. I got to say, like going that long, you do obviously end up with some pretty thin bottom of the braid action. And like now this thing's just like stacked all the way down, like, ends up really nice. So
that's just how that growth works. Everybody at that length is going to have stuff.
Right.
Leo says you cut off more than he has.
Yeah. And it's so funny. Like I literally did it as one of those things. And what's hilarious is I didn't even mention it when I got to the office either. And I think I trimmed a couple inches off the other day. Like I did take it wasn't 6 inches all at once. It was like a couple inches the other day. It was like loose ends. Then it was scragglers. Then it was clean it up. Then it was maybe a little shorter, took off an inch or two. And then this morning got it all the way down to 24. So it was gradual. So it was so gradual. I think over the course of the weekend, I'm not even sure that Jill noticed when I walked in today. She probably just thought it looked short because it was in a braid.
And that was part of your plan too.
It was.
Yeah, that was part of your plan. This will not do it full justice, but here's an earlier version of Nick's beard when you had more of that kind of like God of War Kratos type beard. On that far left over there.
Yeah. And that was, and that was the difference between probably like a 6 inches and like 16 inches.
Yeah. Yep.
And I will say, there is a part of me that wants to go back to the one on the left. Just for someday. I just love that look so much. I don't know. It's not even that I don't like this, right?
Right.
It's like, I just liked that so damn much that I find myself comparing like things that I have now. You know what I mean? I find myself comparing against that all the time.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Like people are like, oh my God, I can't wait till it gets over a foot. Can't wait till it gets here. Can't wait till it gets there. And it was like, I think I've been over a foot now since what? 2020. 2021. So it's been like 5 years of a plus 12-inch plus beard, right?
Yeah.
So decent time. And for some reason, my brain's like, I don't know. I'm thinking about slimming down a little intentionally for spring and summer this year. Usually I just kind of do it naturally and I fluctuate. To this year, I'd like to like go down a little to where I was like in 2020-ish, which is like 10 pounds lighter than I usually am. Yeah. And so I'm thinking like, I don't know. Like part of me is like, I might want to like feel a little lighter and like look a little thinner, look a little less bulky. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here in the next 6 months.
And this is like a perfect, when the title is Let's Talk Beards, like think about how many guys go through these decisions or relatable ones where you're like, I love that look. I really do. But you also know there's going to be plenty of gut shot moments when you go to grab your beard, when you go to touch it and it's not there. And then you're going to start to get the tingles in your arms and you're going to be like, what did I do?
Oh, like if we talk about the mental, like if someone's tuning into this and they're like, oh my God, I've wrestled with that. Or, oh my God, like I've had this back and forth.
How long?
Like, how long did it take? So, okay. How long did it take you to get to where you were before the trim? So I haven't shaved all the way since 2012. Then I kept it short until like 2018, then started letting it grow. So I got from here to 30 inches from 2020 till now.
And minimal trims, like
minimal
at all.
Yeah. So it probably took like of just like keeping it neat and here and there. I'd have to say like 5 years to go from 6 inches to 30 inches.
Yeah.
So yeah. I wasn't, and as it got longer, oddly enough, my beard started growing faster the longer it got.
Yeah.
A lot of people slow down, but mine definitely sped up.
Yeah. You've probably gotten healthier along that journey as well.
Oh, that's true. I mean, I stopped smoking and drinking during the time when I was growing a beard out longer. So that probably did a pretty good number on the growth. I think
it's that right there. And just
those did a pretty big number on it.
Those changes just make that difference.
Yeah. Imagine that I can breathe and I'm not killing myself on a weekly basis.
Right. I don't know if I'm good at context clues, but Jill seems like if you were to ask her, she'd kind of poke you in the trim it direction.
You know where Jill is? She's in she wants me to do what makes me happy and stop talking about it and stressing about it camp, I think.
That's fair.
And I'm not saying she's sick of me talking about it. I'm not saying that at all. She's definitely in the boat of like, do what makes you happy because I can tell right now you're not all the way there, right? And so I guess that's where I started to go. If anyone's listening to this and they've been in this spot like doing these mental gymnastics, the challenge for me is that I know I like it like this, and I know I like it where it was shorter, right? But it's not a light switch. It's one of those things where sure you like it both ways. But it's not like you can go one way and then go back to the other one day because like you just want it back.
Correct.
Like is gone.
There's no return
until
policy
you
on that
grow it back.
Yeah. You can't go to Target and say, hey, can I take this back?
Yeah, dude. It's not like, I don't know. It's not, I guess it's one of those things where like, cause what if you don't, right? Like, what if you don't like it? Like that's in my mind, where I always wrestle, and I don't know if you guys have ever been through this too, is like I worry about myself more than I worry about other people.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what if I don't like the way that short of a beard looks with the shape of my face and head now, right? Like what if I looked better with a short beard 40 pounds heavier, and I don't like the 40-pound lighter short beard version of myself, right? It's not like you can be like, no, okay, do over. Like you're stuck for 5 years.
It really is. Because you like where you're at. But it's like, and then you always think about things like the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and it's like, oh man.
Yeah. Stressing, yes, talking, no, keep going. Okay, yeah. And that's what I mean. She could tell that I was stressed about it. And and then you got days like today where I throw it in a braid.
Looks great.
And I'm like, oh dear God, why would I ever mess with this?
Right.
And that's kind of where, especially now that it's like got better density down to the bottom, I don't have the wispy end to it. I think maybe I just didn't like the unkept look of where it was in the length that I had it, because I had done, you know how you have to kind of go out and then tighten up and then out and then tighten up. You know, it's like you have to as you grow.
Yeah.
I think I was at the stage of going length before I cleaned up. And I think that maybe that was just getting to me. So just like anything, I'm going to let it sit where it is right now for a little while. And I'm going to see where it's at.
With that change to feel like, all right, did I actually address what was bothering me, or is there more on the table? One thing that I struggle with, right, with a beard like yours, a braid like that, the length, the density, the texture, what percentage of men on humans, what percentage of humans on planet Earth could even be in your category?
Like, you know, that's true.
How many zeros can we add after the point before we get to the 0.1? You know, like,
yeah,
because it's not 0.1% of humans. It's just not.
You're not.
Way, way more rare than that. If you go down to that Kratos beard, there's a substantial amount of men that can pull that beard off and do pull that beard off.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean anything? Is there a prize? Yeah, literally a U.S. champion, but disregard that. But is there anything? No. Is it ego? Is it stupid? Probably. But that's where my brain goes. I love being different. I love standing out. You guys know my worst fear is looking like a thumb. And so you bring yourself back to a class of being like so many other people. And I struggle with being like others. I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't, and I got to say, so that's kind of interesting. You point that out. We talk about talking about beards. Like this is talk about the mental side of it all now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the mental side of it, I used to be the most blend in corporate slack Van Heusen dress shirt from Ross wearing out of a bag, blend in person you've ever met. Like listen, I was one of those people. Like I could walk through a room and no one would ever have known I was there. And I loved it. That was my favorite thing. That's when I used to do, what word can I use to describe this now so we don't spend 10 minutes talking about what I said? When I used to do invasive security testing of physical facilities. Cool it. So when I used to do that, that's how I was able to do it, because I could just blend in anywhere. No one noticed that I was standing in a lobby. And then the beard got big, right? And I can't go anywhere now without someone, noticing that you're there. Like you get the up and down, you get the, you know what I mean? Like it becomes a thing where somewhere in your brain, for vanity reasons or not, like you get used to standing out. And I don't know what it would be like to blend back in again.
Yeah, I can't. Like that makes me stress. Like I have my arms just like tingling right now thinking about going to a school function and just being another dad. Like when I go to a school function, every single person knows I'm there. Literally every single person.
Yep.
I love that. I absolutely love that. And so, yeah, Jill had a full carpet as a jacket. Can't miss her.
No, she does. Today, she was wearing a full entire rug as a jacket. And really? So Ken does that kind of work where he used to do kind of some testing. It looks like some security, physical security, vulnerability testing.
And real quick, yes, I was a judge at the U.S. National Comp in 2024. Nick competed, was it 18 to 24 inches?
Yep.
18 to 24 inches, his first ever competition, his only ever competition, and he won the gold medal of the greatest beard in the United States of America. So, yes, he did compete. And he beat some insane beards, too. It wasn't like it was a small comp. Like, the guy that he beat, it was right there. Like,
that was a
right
beard.
There.
That was a beard. That guy had a sweet beard. And that was a tough category, the 18 to 24, because you were either competing for sheer length or you were competing for style. And it was groomed, right? Groomed 18, 24. So
people that care.
Yeah. It's not like I haven't shaved ever and I have 3.5 foot long sideburns guys, which I mean, that dude was there. He had a sick beard. But I did not
know that. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty cool, man.
Heck
cool.
Yeah. Little known
champ.
Lesser known facts.
So beard trim, love it. processing. Nick will keep us posted on this journey and where he's going and how he's feeling. And I know it's relatable. And so, yeah, just keep us posted, Nick. We like hearing about this.
That's it. It's going to be a weekly update. And I got to say though, I'm pretty happy with where it's at right now. I think I'm going to keep it in this braid for a little bit. Like something about having the neat bottom braid and having it this length. I've never actually had this before. So this is actually kind of a whole new thing on its own. So I can't make a decision until I get used at least to this.
Smart. You've had it for double-digit years now. Don't be making decisions in days, you know?
No.
Can't do that.
Come on. If I'm going to Phelps everything else in life to death and analysis, paralysis, everything to death, you know for a fact when it's attached to my face, this is going to be the longest decision I ever make.
And it's literally your company's namesake, you know?
Just a little bit of a big deal.
Comes with it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, questions, beard observations. You don't often get a national champion beard product owner and just a great dude to be able to pick his brain on different things. And Arden says, aren't you glad you have a beard in the winter to keep the face warm? I do notice a difference. I really feel like it is a windshield and it does help to some degree.
Oh, I feel like it does for sure. Yeah. I absolutely feel like there's a decent part of, you know what it is too? It's like when you have a jacket on and you got like a hood that comes up over it. I feel like it protects that area between like the hood and like the collarbone area from getting wind, you know? It's like wearing a scarf inside your jacket, especially if you tuck it into your jacket.
Yeah, for sure. And I do struggle with that sometimes, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and Channing, there's multiple schools of thought on that. Some people are like, don't you want to go back and defend your title? And some people are like, well, you came, you saw, you won, you left. Good work, Dr. Nick. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with it.
Right.
Unless it's a different category. Like if I wanted to compete 24 plus, then maybe I'd go back and do that. See if I can't win 2 titles in different categories, you know, something like that maybe.
Dylan, leave the negativity out of here. Sam already texted me that they were down 2-0. Like what our team, like what in the heck? Not cool.
Oh boy.
Not cool.
Oh boy.
And then to piggyback, so it keeps you warm in the winter, but not hot in the summer. Yeah, no. So we do have, I forget the artery, but we have an artery in our neck that helps regulate your temperature, your body temperature. And it's like your thermostat. And when your beard helps regulate and keeps your body cooler, it also acts as like nature's AC unit, where you get water, you get sweat in there. As it evaporates, you get a cooling effect on your face. So yeah, I've never once, I have with my head hair. When I was rocking the long mullet, I didn't keep it because it was too sweaty and it was too like cumbersome. And I did not feel comfortable with my mullet in the summer. Never once have I been like, this thing's on my face and it's hot and like it's nice in the summer. Like it just is.
Yeah. I've noticed it. Like if I'm outside and I'm not wearing a shirt is the only time that I wish sometimes it was out of my way. But if I'm wearing a shirt, it literally for that reason you just mentioned never bugs me at all. And it's just when I'm like at the beach, like no shirt. Once in a while, I'll throw it up in a real tight, high up bun because I just don't want anything on my chest.
Interesting. What bothers you with this? Because like for me, my carpets match the chest hair drapes, so it's like I got that full chest hair, so it just kind of like parties together.
You know, that's kind of it, I guess, is like, you know, it does the same for me. I got like the same back rug matches the front rug matches the top drapes.
Yep. You're a minimalist up top.
Yeah, I am. I'm going for that real contemporary look.
Yeah, modern.
Open. They don't put marble tops on cheap furniture, right? That's what my dad always used to say.
Say chest hair drape. All right, I'll go back to taco meat.
Chest hair drapes.
But yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't know.
And so JB asked a really good question. And yes, JB, we can relate, and I got a graphic to show you. He says, once in a while, my beard feels good, but I can't comb. It's like extremely grabbing. I'm not tangled really, but the hair is just clump and grab. Ever have that? Mm-hmm. Same routine, maybe smooth later? Yes. So let me show you this diagram of what's going on, JB. So these are the two versions of what your hair is doing. And so what the cuticle, which is like the shaft of the hair as compared to the follicle, which is at the base, it's keratin, but imagine it like dead skin cells. And they're just stacked on top of each other as if there's like an internal core. Well, they actually call it the core. So the internal core, and those things just get kind of stabbed on. Like, when they make like a sucker bouquet where you have to stick the suckers into the core and it like makes like this design. That's what your keratin fibers, your dead skin cell fibers are doing. They're all stacking within that core in the middle. There are two different versions. They can be open, aka raised, or they can be closed, aka flat. And when they are flat, they are smooth. You run your fingers through it. You run your comb through it. No worries in the world. When they're open or raised, though, all of them are, so they grab each other like Velcro. And so they're just sticking. And it's not anything's wrong with your beard. It's just that the cuticle is open. And the number, it's exact. I always reference this in my videos. It's like pine cones, like exactly like pine cones. And the number one reason why it happens is wind. So JB, I don't know if it's windier by you today, but we call it wind whipped beards or wind whipped hair. That's the number one reason. And it gets bad if you have any kind of wind. If I do, I throw this bad boy up usually in like a double knot because you are not winning with a long beard and wind.
No.
So if you start thinking about the days where it's bad, was it windy? Was that a big factor? And also, if you're rotating conditioner every other day, non-conditioner days, much more invite this open to happen. The conditioner seals and locks it in a little bit more. So just think about that. And yeah, very similar, Dylan. It's not exclusively pre and post conditioner, but that is an effect of conditioner as well. Yep.
Question on that. So pre-post conditioner is one thing. I might have another question on that. Do you think that, because you can put your hair through artificial wind in a gym or in a fan, whatever, you're sitting there, and I work in a server room sometimes and it's windy and it's fine, but it's outside wind that makes my beard do this, right? Yeah. And I will say, I don't even necessarily need to be directly in it. It's kind of like being around the tumulus wind. Is there something about the ions in the air when it's windy outside, you think, that might have like the opposite of what's in like the ion generating hair, things that smooth your hair? I wonder if it's the opposite charge of ion that makes it stand out, almost like static makes your hair stand up.
That's a brilliant question. Because, yeah, if you have a fan on inside, you don't feel it.
You don't. So how come artificial wind doesn't give you wind whipped hair, but natural wind outside does? Is it? And not all wind. It's only certain days that does it. So maybe is that because of like a high or a low pressure system in the weather, I wonder?
Yeah, I wouldn't think it's pollutants, Dylan, because pollutants they'll discriminate where they latch onto. But barometric pressure, I don't know. I've said the term barometric pressure and stuff. I don't know much about that stuff. So I'm not the person, but I know you just asked a very good question.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see, like, I wonder what ions are in the air when it is both windy and in certain high or low pressure conditions that cause that. Because something you said about the way it like just opens up the hair and stands out like that.
Yeah.
And it makes sense that there's like ion generators and like the flattening brushes and the heat brushes and stuff. And I wonder if it's like positive ions versus negative ions or something like that.
I can almost promise there's something to that. I don't know what it is.
Oh, but sounds like a good video topic right there.
Yeah. And Jill, absolutely spot on. We know humid wind, wet wind is good for hair, great for skin. Not always for styling, but if your beard is a little bit damp, you're going to be able to run your fingers through it. Period. So dry wind, 100%. And I wonder if there has to be an element of static that impacts this too. And is that related to the ions? Is that related to the barometric pressure? Probably some way. All of them are.
Oh boy, we're gonna need a guest star of a meteorologist.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The only job where you can be wrong almost always and still.
Exactly. It's the least accountable job in the world.
I think it is number one.
Oh, it is. It's going to rain. Never mind. It didn't rain. Anyway, moving on. It's going to snow tomorrow.
Well, Well, I said 90% chance. I left that 10, so.
Right. And so good thing I did, because I was right. Didn't rain.
I was right. There was a chance it wouldn't. What a job.
Actually.
Wow. Yeah, what a job. So interesting. Yeah, there's something to that. But JB, he said, the beard walks do often change the style. Yeah, I'm telling you, it has to do today with a bad day, with the wind. And then Nick is posing the asterisk in there. Does it have to do with the ions, the static, the dry? And has to be. Yep.
Bet it does.
Ooh. Nate says, I think there's a higher chance of a gas pump exploding in the winter because of static buildup. So I think you're onto something. Ooh, in static buildup, could you be accumulating static? Yeah.
Sure, before you discharge.
And then the ions are something that probably in some way, shape, or form discharges static.
See, now this is gonna bode really well for like copper lined beard elastics, like static discharging elastics.
Wow. And Nick went to a school that was sitting on copper.
I did.
You guys think I'm joking? I'm not.
No, I went to a school. Yeah. Like, so in sixth grade, my teacher, at kind of like a homeschool tutor kind of situation in Hawaii, she lived in a tetrahedron shaped house that all the support, it was on stilts, and all the stilts were lined with copper rods that went down like 15 feet in the ground or something. So like the whole place was grounded, and she put in copper mesh between on the outside of the drywall before the siding in the house. So no radio waves whatsoever got through the walls of her house. It was full on Faraday cage. Like you couldn't even get it was back in the days of beepers. Like my pager didn't even work inside her house. Like when I was a kid, like for my parents to reach me, I had to leave it on the front porch.
Wow. Well, and Dylan, I know you're joking here, but you're actually spot on to something. He said we could always use silicones in our products, right? This situation is why people think silicones work.
Right. Because it glues them down.
Yeah. And if your hair is out, right? If it's raised, if it's open, and you seal that with silicone, aka a dang plastic, it's going to lock those hairs down. But what it's not doing is treating the skin. It's not helping the growth. It's not nourishing the beard. But it will put a slick. Think about like a slick track in racing, go-kart racing. It's going to put a slickness over those hairs, and you will be able to comb. You will be able to run your fingers through your beard. It's not going to feel as tangly and as ratted as it might be with a wind whipped beard. But you start zooming out, and you look a month later, 6 months later, a year later. Why is your beard not growing? Why is it all of a sudden feeling like crap? Oh, because you were suffocating it this entire time.
Right. You're coating it in plastic.
Yeah. That's a video right there, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why do people think silicone products work?
Oh, the better title for that though is why silicone-based beard products work so well.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, they don't, but they certainly look like they do.
Right.
And Nate, don't steal that one. I think that's that might actually be a winner there. I think we're on to something. I don't know. That might be a winner.
Right. You better get that silicone line going.
No, not the silicone line. The grounding bracelets for beard for beards.
That hit me. That was like, that's actually not a crazy thing to say. Like there really could be something. If you're getting discharge of electricity for that, like, oh man.
I wonder, like you got like these kind of ties. Like I love these things.
Let me get this out of here real quick.
These little teleties.
Oh yeah. The old, the telephone cable ones. Yep.
Yeah. Love these things. Imagine that with just a little piece of copper through it.
Wow.
Now the question is, sure, the copper would act as a good conductor, but then the copper would need to ground itself to something in order to actually discharge. So it would need to be like a multi-part component. You'd need like a thumb ring that like touched it or something and grounded it out to your body or something.
Interesting. So just having the metal on there alone is not enough?
So it depends on the accumulated mass. So it would depend on whether it's, and I don't know the exact equation, but there's something to do with the mass of the generation of static compared to the mass of the metal. And if the mass of the metal is greater than the mass that generates the static, then the metal is enough to ground it. However, if it's not, the metal has to act as a conductor and get the static discharge to pass through it into something that actually is grounded so that it can go to a larger mass.
Now, if you touch the metal with your finger and could you be the grounding agent?
Sure. Yeah, you could. And then people could argue so long as you're grounded, because if you're statically charged, which means if your beard is, chances are you are too.
Okay.
That's why you can't just like touch yourself after touching a jacket and have the jacket stop making your hair raise. You got to actually touch it to something that's grounded to discharge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you need to be barefooted and touching?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You'd need to be barefoot. You know, it's interesting. We used to, and that's why like, we used to wear grounding bracelets that would attach to like our workbenches when we were working on electronics. And so that's
crazy.
It wouldn't discharge from your fingers to the electronics. It would discharge through your bracelet to the belt, or to the bench before it would go and fry a circuit.
It has a physical tether to that
bench. Yeah. So I still have them. They're like these little blue, they're like powder blue bracelets, and it has a little copper contact underneath on the inside, and it's called ESD bracelets.
Okay.
Yeah, electrostatic discharge bracelets. And they so if you ever look on an electronics workbench, you'll see what looks like a bunch of little jacket snaps all over it, and it looks like one end of a snap.
Yeah.
It's for the end of those cables. So you can take your bracelet and snap it onto the workbench, and then you can go to the next station and clip it on there.
Interesting. Yeah, and people are saying people do that to build new PCs.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. And that's what we were doing whenever I was wearing them. We were essentially working on like motherboards and microprocessors and stuff like that. And it was back in the day when like one little ESD zap could, those guys.
Interesting. I've never seen this before.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and they even have mats. If you were at a workstation where you were working on them a bunch, they had these little they have mats that you stood on, and the mats were ESD discharge, active discharge mats.
So I have weird like flashbacks coming. Like this is something I saw in my childhood and processed it and had no idea what it was. Like it was sitting at my house or something. And then now all of a sudden it's like rushing back again, but I can't place it.
Yeah. And you see that one in the upper right that has the mat? It has like the square mat, and that little metal part there, that's the snap I'm talking about, like the little jacket snap.
We have a grounding mat. Like when I brush my teeth, I have a grounding mat that goes into the grounding port on the outlet. And so I use that each morning.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you have a plug-in electric toothbrush?
On my grooming routine with static in a dry Michigan winter.
Do you have a plug-in electric toothbrush?
No.
Why is it? Oh, so the grounding mat just to be good for your health? Like
just to be good for my health.
Gotcha. Okay, I was like, holy hell, do you have a high voltage toothbrush?
Stuff. No, just the hippy dippy stuff. Yeah, I'm over there, just processing while I'm brushing my teeth.
Yeah, no big deal. It's like, my toothbrush runs on 110.
Yeah, I figured Leo would have some connections with what he used to do too.
Oh, heck yeah. Absolutely.
Oh. Moving lights at a concert. Dude, can I wear this when I turn on the light switches in places that are poorly wired? Do you ever turn on a light switch in the winter and got zapped?
Oh yeah. Totally.
I hate it.
And it can act as a double-edged sword in that case. You make yourself an extra good conductor wearing these if you're going somewhere that is grounded. So if you're around active AC current, you don't want to wear those because you become the conductor.
You're completing the circuit?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. I had a poorly grounded server rack one time that was running on 220, and it had an open ground that wasn't identified anywhere. And I touched it, and it arced through my grounding bracelet that I was wearing to work on the servers in the rack. And it went in one hand, out the other hand, it blew the snap off the bracelet and arced against the server rack.
Oh, that explains your hands now. Got it.
Oh, yeah, it was bad. I was full on lightning fingers. Yeah, it was real. If it was dark, I probably would have had like actual arcs coming out of me.
Jeez.
That was like one of the few times I've had 220 pass through me successfully.
I have once. I was working on a GFI outlet and it got me.
Mm-hmm.
It got me. That's one of the strangest, like most inexplicable experiences you can have.
Being electrocuted is no fun, and
it lingers. Like it rocked my whole day.
Oh, dude, it can mess up your whole week.
Yeah. Yep. I forgot about that when we were doing this house, actually.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, I got this. I already did all the wiring and everything. I'm just putting it back in the box. No, don't do that.
No. That's the time it's going to happen too. That's when you're going to touch an active circuit to a box.
Yeah. So I did everything, outlet or the breaker off and everything. And then I wanted to test it before I put it back in, screwed everything in, and so I flipped the breaker back on. I test it. Hey, it works. Cool. All right.
I don't want to walk back down there.
I did all the wiring. I don't need to go back to the breaker box. So let me just put it back in. Went to put it back in. Got me.
Yep.
So good question here. You have a beard routine video on this channel. Guys, check it out. There's a bunch of good content on here. And from 2 years ago, have you adjusted your morning routine from the oil and the heated brush and the occasional balm, or is it pretty much the same?
No, it's literally identical. The only thing I do a little less now is the balm, because my connectors are long enough to pull into a braid or a bun.
Yeah.
So I don't have to stick them down as much like I used to. But I still use the balm occasionally if I'm trying to like style my mustache a bit or getting my sideburns to play along. But no, the routine's identical. It's out of the shower. It's warm, towel dried hair, warm oil. Once in a while, a little butter mixed in with it. Heat brush. The heat brush is wireless now compared to the one 2 years ago, but really that's the only difference.
Yeah, mine is spot on identical, pretty much to yours and pretty much to mine from years ago. And I could probably make some high view content if every other month I did a new morning routine, but I struggle doing stuff just for views. So when people ask me about like my routine, I'm like, I could make a new video, but it's exactly the same as my last one. Like exactly the same. Nothing has changed. And so, yeah, I'm the same boat, man. Especially when your beard's long, like it would be interesting if you go down to that Kratos beard, then you're going to have a new routine.
Yeah. And see, I'm just not ready. I don't know. I'm not ready for that.
That would be a whole new experience.
It'd be a whole new experience.
Side of it.
Oh God, the styling. I haven't done that styling in 5 years. And you know what's crazy? Here's something I haven't thought about when you're talking about beard changes. When you have a long beard, your routine has developed very gradually into that routine.
Yeah.
When you trim and go from 24 to 6, you are making a new routine in a day. So like that's super drastic. Like you don't get a new long beard routine because you've developed it as you're growing your beard.
Yeah.
That's very different.
Let me hit this. You're so right. That's crazy. You slowly make adjustments. You learn as you grow, and then it's like, boom, change it up. That's crazy. So Channing, funny you say that. I'm gonna copy and paste something in the chat right now, and I'm gonna put quotes because this is word for word, character for character, copy and pasted into the chat right now from my notes. So she says, what's a Kratos beard? So here is my task list. One of the things that I have to complete is I filmed it yesterday, and now I'm just waiting to edit it. But on February 1st, I have a video titled, What is a Kratos God of War beard? Explained. So your question could not be more perfect.
Hyper relevant.
And the reason why, Nick, do you know why I'm making this video?
Why are you making this video? Oh, is this because everyone's getting to that length from Grovember where they can get to this style beard and that's where they want to go?
No, that's a great question or a great thought, but no. The reason, let me see where it's at. I got to find this. You'll really appreciate this. I think you will. So the reason why is, okay, and I don't even have this platform, but I will show you. There is an Amazon Prime new series starring the actor who was Opie in Sons of Anarchy, and he's going to be playing God of War on a huge TV show.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I'm like, I know. See how good I am? I literally knew people would go to the internet and are going to search, what is a Kratos beard? What is a God of War beard? And
Yep.
because most people have not heard about this show yet, I'm getting ahead of it, and I did the video. I just have to edit it now. And yeah, Opie had an epic beard. A lot of people grew their beard because of Opie. And
yeah, they did.
Yep. And this is going to be a huge show. And yep, even better. Nate asked about a new game. And then he said, even better, more viewership on Amazon Prime. Huge name. It's going to, number one, make beards even more acceptable in society. It's going to make people want to go bigger with their beard because most guys are shorter than that kind of beard. And the search traffic for Kratos, for God of War, and beards in general is going to take a really big bump. So I want to be there and be waiting for them.
Yeah, I mean that makes total sense. And if you think about a bunch of guys, if people start liking this look, which I mean, what's not to like about the look, right? I mean, it's like you look down and you got the same angle on your beard as you have on your chest. You know what I mean? Like it's a hard ass look. Like it looks really, really good.
It does.
And yeah. And I think if people go for that, what I think is going to happen is that's just going to raise the average bar of beard length anyway, making it, like you said, more acceptable to where all of a sudden, if you're at 6 inches or 10 inches or 12 inches, all of a sudden you don't have this ridiculous beard. People aren't going to be like, oh, it's Grizzly Adams anymore, right? Because it's like mainstream. Anytime something like this happens, just raise the natural perception of men's facial hair to longer is a good thing.
Spot on. My brain has went through every bit of that journey, and it's in the video. Like I've already filmed it, so spot on. And Beauty. Kenny, I answer this in the video too. God, I am so good at predicting what people are going to ask and think. I love that. And he says, what did they call it before this? It was called a Spartan beard. So people would, and God of War is a Spartan. If people don't realize that, he is from the Greek mythology, and he's a Spartan. Even in this show, he plays a Spartan god. And so yeah, they called it a Spartan beard or a Battle of 300 beard. And so yeah, it's been around. But then the game, it was a PlayStation game, I guess, brought Kratos and brought God of War.
It was so funny. Like I didn't have a PlayStation when God of War came out. And I played it at a friend's house. I only had PC games at the time, and I bought a PlayStation on the way home that day to play that game when I got home.
Dang, that's cool.
It was one of the only, and I think it was one of the only games I had for that PlayStation too. And then like it was way later when like another one came out, and I did the same thing. I was like, "What? A new God of War came out? I need to go get a PlayStation."
I didn't know it became popular from a video game. That was news to me.
Yeah. Oh, it's such cool games. Like it was just really, really neat. Like and what was cool about it, I've never had time to play like really involved long video games.
Yeah.
Except for when I was way younger, like preteen, teenage years. Even in my 20s, I was too busy. What I liked about God of War is you could sit down, turn it on, and play it and get like some really cool immersive stuff like battle scenes and fights and just really cool stuff, and then turn it off and walk away. And like you could do that 4 times a week if you wanted to, 30 minutes each, and you could feel like you were having fun. It wasn't like thing where you had to play it for 4 hours before anything got good,
Good.
It was that's what got me into that game. You could just sit down and have fun and then walk away.
I love it. All right, one last question before we get you guys out of here. And man, we've had about 40 people in this whole time. This community keeps growing, beyond appreciated. If you could, I don't think I've even asked for this, could you just see if you hit the thumbs up if you've had a good time today? And Phil, I will answer this. Anybody feel their face is extra dry right out of the shower sometimes, even with the cold rinse at the end? Phil, I do if I use a low quality face wash or if I don't wash my face. If I use Dr. Nick's face wash, from the bottom of my heart, no, I do not feel that. Same with the body wash. I do not feel that if I use a quality body wash. It's like the difference of growing up as a kid and using dollar store crap and then feeling like my skin was like afterwards. And I'm like, I guess it's clean. There's nothing on it. That makes sense. To now being like, oh, it's supple. Like it feels really nice. And so yes, unless I use quality face wash. And again, that's just real. Yep. Just real. And he says, under the beard, my skin hates me. Well, there's always a reason, right? So if you have dry skin, it's all the stuff we've gone over a ton of times. It's you're not drinking enough water, you're not using the right amount of oil, and you're yeah, there's so many different things you got to adjust in the winter. You got to use a little bit more product, you know. And
well, and I find just in general, when it comes to the skin issues, right? Like half the battle is product for sure, but I'd say a big part of it's diet, unfortunately, man. Like Dan was saying,
it's way bigger than product.
It is. It's like what you drinking enough water will trump. You could use the best products in the world and have an awesome regimen and be dehydrating yourself, and your skin's going to be pissed all day.
Yep, facts. Oh, and then real quick, he did ask this recently. This year, and I don't know the answer. This year, is EXO coming back?
No, sir.
Okay, so we put that to rest. Not coming back this year, but appreciate you asking. That's why I love this show. We can get real answers in real time.
Yeah. So yeah, Phil, though, under the beard, dude, that used to be a real challenge point for me, and it's water. I think my water uptake went up, and that problem honestly went away from me. Granted, if I was still using
down, water up.
Yeah. Alcohol down, water up, product good, right? So like, I think those three things are what did it for me, but I would definitely say like water, up the water and see what happens.
Yep. Up the water. All right.
Up the water up.
All right, guys. Next week, we're going to stay beard themed because I really liked this. And I think we can do something really fun, but also grab some SEO searches. And we are going to dispel beard myths. So you guys do have a little bit of homework from the teacher and the doctor. If you can bring a myth that you've heard about beards, bring it to the show next week. And we will give our take on it. We'll talk about what we've learned through our own experiences, what we've read with research, what we've heard from you guys. But bring a beard myth that you've heard. I don't know if you guys are like me, but for some reason, the beards are dirtier than dogs study is like making its rounds again right now on the internet. And so I'm getting peppered with those questions every day. I did a video like 6 years ago on it, but bring those. Beards dirtier than toilets, dogs, a beard does this, right? Anything that you've heard as a myth, let's go over it. I think that'll be a really fun episode.
Oh, I love that. Let's just spell some stuff too. I'll bring in a black light. Be like, I'll bring in a French bulldog, myself, and a UV light, and we'll just see what myths we can dispel real quick here on right on camera.
Yeah, and then we go take a field trip you take us to McDonald's and then black light the toilet and see your beard versus the toilet.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, guys. Final words for me here. We'll see you next week. Thank you for the great beard discussions. I think I created 3 video ideas on stream today. You guys are amazing. I'll kick it over to my friend Nick over here to end the show.
Oh man, we have not said anything that we need to say at this point, man. This was fantastic. Like, I think this is one of those ones where people are going to come back and watch it as they're wrestling with what to do with the beard they grew at the end of this last year. Like, are they going to keep it? Are they going to keep going? The transcript of this thing, I think, is going to help a lot of people out. Just kind of knowing that you're not alone in the mental gymnastics process there. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week.
All right, guys.